We are live coming to you from different locations right now because we are Hill Talk Sports. I'm TJ Hill, your host, joined by Scott Kennison, my prestigious co-host that's been here for a week or so. I'm joined tonight, two special guests. We have D-Mac and we have my boy Lonnie that I grew up with over on Sobieski. Fellas, how y'all doing tonight?
Good. How about you, man?
All right, cool. So we're going to get into it right now and just jump on board because we all got our different opinions about what happened with the Browns this week when they made an historic move that I never thought a Cleveland team would do unless it was basketball. They went out and got Deshaun Watson to take over at the quarterback realm, paying him a 5-year, $230 million, all guaranteed money. That is crazy, and Lamar Jackson's going to man, a lot of people, the Baker Bros, which he is not. That's proven by the fact that we can't trade him for a bag of beans. Then you got the whole allegation thing with the 22 allegations of sexual misconduct. I got mixed views on that too, but we're going to share those in a few minutes. You got people that don't care about that, and you got people that do care about that. They've already been protesting at the Fancy's house out in the Rocky River. They already made jerseys that say 22 and
All right, folks. Looks like we're in a little bit of glitch here. It looks like TJ somehow, some way got knocked out. So what we're gonna do real quick is let's see. Scott, are you on? I think Scott's. Here we go. Let me see if we can get Scott back on here. There you go, Scott. Can you hear me? I guess not. Scott can't hear me.
I can't get anything into my headphones when I go to switch over to the Focusrite. I can't get anything in my headphones. So let me do one other thing and we should be good.
Okay. All right. What I'll do is I guess I'll just pass it all over. Let's see. We got D-Mac here as one of our guests here. Do you want to kind of give a little bit of your insights of what happened this week?
I can't hear him.
No, I can't.
Can y'all hear me?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you, D-Mac.
All right.
We're good.
Listen, let's talk about.
Cool.
Hope you heard everything I just said. Maybe you didn't.
No, you kind of dropped out, but
we got
go ahead, TJ. We'll get you back in there. You're back in focus there. Let's start all over. Let's go ahead.
Good. All right. So look, basically, we're talking about the signing of Deshaun Watson and how it's going to impact the Browns going forward. So what do you guys think about just the football aspect of it? We'll get to the other part later, but football aspect, how do you guys feel about the signing?
Well, as I was going to say was football. Yeah, I was going to say what I was saying about it is it's the move that football fans, especially here in Cleveland, thought we'd never see. I think it was bold. I think he or they rather, Haslam, Andrew Berry, even Stefanski, the whole recruiting team they sent out to do it. They did what they were supposed to do and had to do. I think what people are missing, honestly, is the fact that they guaranteed all that money just not to have to go back to Baker next season. And I think, with everything that's going on, we're missing some stuff. When I say we, most of Cleveland Browns fans and Twitter is that on the football end of it, think how fed up, as a word, I guess the phrase I'm going to use, with Baker Mayfield, that they went out and said, we'll guarantee your entire contract for $230 million, and we'll deal with everything and the fallout that comes from that. I think that's a huge deal. But football-wise, honestly, I love it. I think we have a legitimate quarterback for the first time since the Browns have been back in '99. and we have a legitimate shot at having a deep run in the playoffs. Hello?
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. This is Lonnie speaking. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, I totally agree with what he just said. We finally got a real top 10 quarterback. I think it's good
Top
for football wise, for real football fans. I think the city wasn't really ready for it. I guess we'll probably touch on that a little later, but I don't believe the city was ready for it. But at the end of the day, we did what we had to do. We got the better quarterback. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. We got the crybaby up out of here. Well, he ain't out of here yet. I think we kind of finding out that he really has no trade value whatsoever. And a lot of people
Zero.
that are mad about it, pretty ticked off, because I think they're more upset that we have a new black face through the franchise.
Absolutely. I'm in
Yeah.
total agreement with that. I was waiting for the elephant in the room to be addressed. But go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's gonna get addressed quickly. I mean, because I know on my timeline there was a lot of the several guys that voted for Trump who had 20-some allegations of women of sexual assault charges. They voted for Trump and was happy he was the president of the United States. But a lot of white people in Cleveland, no offense to any white people on here, but a lot of white people in Cleveland they haven't really accepted black dominance as far as the quarterback position. So when you see a black face leading the team like the Cleveland Browns, a lot of them wasn't really ready for that. So they're making up a lot of excuses as to why he shouldn't be our quarterback.
Well,
Deshaun
they
Watson.
don't have. Excuse me. They're not making it up. He gave them an easy reason. You know what I'm saying? 22 of them.
I'm not talking about the 22 reasons. I'm talking about the excuses of Baker won more games than he won. Baker
Got you.
those excuses, not the 22 reasons. He didn't get convicted,
Right.
so I'm not even talking about that. That's just an excuse. You know what I'm saying at this point? Because Trump had reasons, and they still voted for him. So
At 26 to be exact.
26 to be exact. So and then one of them he said on camera, just grab him by the you know what. So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear the Deshaun Watson can't do what Baker can do. Truthfully, Baker can't do anything better than Deshaun Watson on the football field. Nothing at all. So I look at it as a win for the Browns.
Scott,
TJ, go ahead.
got anything, Scott, or you already said something? Because I was out for a minute.
No, T. From a
football
value,
aspect. So I'm not football only. Let's not talk about the other thing yet. Football only. You gotta separate the two. You gotta separate Robert Downey Jr. from Iron Man.
You're 100% correct there. You're not wrong. And I'm working on compartmentalizing.
I understand that, but let's discuss the football perspective. Yes.
The Browns are a better team today than they were a week ago. There's no doubt about that. Baker Mayfield is a quarterback who has only been effective when he is on the move, rolling the pocket, or able to only read half the field. This is a man who has been severely limited throughout his entire career. I think part of that personally is that he's too short to see over his offensive linemen. And I think that makes it difficult for him to be able to find his receivers and see his open receivers. Yes, Baker Mayfield was injured a lot last year. Yes, he was missing some linemen. That didn't change the fact that he wasn't seeing what he wasn't seeing on the field. That doesn't change the fact that even in his best season, He was a quarterback who was effective on the move, on rollouts to his tight ends. From a football perspective, the Browns are a significantly better team today and legitimately potentially the favorite in that division. I know Cincinnati people have something to say about that. But the Browns are now legitimately in the discussion, adding Amari Cooper, adding Deshaun Watson from a football perspective. No doubt. No doubt.
Still there, TJ?
I'm here.
Okay.
Next.
I'm here. You see,
I think he was checking because I finished speaking
hear
about
Scotty
3
Miller.
minutes ago.
You cut out?
No, he was good to go. We heard him loud and clear.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in there. So, I mean, what do you guys think about the Cooper pickup? I think that we really didn't get into that because that I think transpired right after the show last week. Do we have any kind of thoughts on that pickup there?
I personally like the Cooper pickup. I think it was a great pickup because, and then he restructured his contract, so now we're able to get other players. We may get Laundry back. We may sign. We may sign. I forgot the kid's name from that Deshaun Watson used to throw to. And then you still got our defensive end Clowney may sign back. So I think that was a great move restructuring. And I'm gonna say this. If one thing I thought about this earlier, a lot of players are wanting to come back for a reason. And that reason is Baker's not the quarterback anymore. Baker's not the quarterback anymore. I don't think he was a light guy in the locker room.
It's not seeming that way. And I think
Yeah.
Clowney coming back is bigger than people are giving it credit for because
It's huge.
Jadeveon Clowney, for years we talked about having a defensive end who could set the edge, a defensive end who could be there to play contain, a defensive end who's a run stopper. That is Jadeveon Clowney. He is very good at that role. He's better than Myles Garrett at the role of setting the edge and playing contained defensive end. You don't want to run the option on Jadeveon Clowney. He's going to be there all day long. There's things that he does for your team that do not show up on a stat sheet, and I think if they can get Clowney back, that's a bigger win than people are probably giving that credit for. Amari Cooper definitely makes this team better. The question mark is, will Kevin Stefanski scheme to the Ferrari, or will he continue to try to have the Ferrari clear out for the 3 Toyota Priuses to do a drag route underneath and throw something to Harrison Bryant? Will Stefanski use that weapon?
Hey, we got a punt returner too. Don't forget that. We finally got one.
You know, once we get through the Deshaun stuff and the Deshaun outrage, I'll say, and everything else, I think going into the season, at least for me, because this past season, my 2 questions were Baker Mayfield and Coach Stefanski calling the plays. I like him as a head coach, but I think as a head coach, you miss the small details that you need to win football games and win a championship. These unforced penalties and everything like that, we can't have that, but yet you said he wanted to call the play. So just to kind of piggyback off what you said, I really believe that if he's going to continue to play, to make those play calls and not actually let our OC do their job, I think that's the question mark going into the season, provided everybody stays healthy.
For sure. Kevin Stefanski cost the team multiple games last year with play calling down the end. The Packers game was an example of bad play calling that cost this team significantly at the end. Kevin Stefanski has to be willing to, in the offseason, evaluate and do a self-evaluation and say how much of this was my fault down the end. Because even with Baker's subpar quarterback play, the Browns were in position to win games down the stretch that Kevin Stefanski vomited away with some terrible play calling for down and distance.
Well, I agree with that. The problem is, I also saw plays that Kevin Stefanski had schemed open, and our quarterback couldn't get the guy the ball. I'm just being honest. Yes, some of his play calling on certain situations, I'm sitting here like, people wouldn't do that on Madden. What are you doing? So I'm in total agreement with that. And again, I think that goes to, I don't know, I don't want to say it's ego or what. I get this what got you the job, but you are now the head coach, man. Let your assistant coaches do their job so you can be a head coach, and maybe a lot of these things can get cleaned up on their own. Because he still can veto. You know what I'm saying? If there's a play call he's hearing coming over the headset that he don't like, or he thinks they want to go something else, that communication, they always talking about communicating with each other. That's an opportunity for, you know what I'm saying? He can still communicate that. But I just, that's my fear right now, that we'll have all these horses and he'll want to keep them in the garage for whatever reason.
Good point.
It's definitely going to be a learning curve for Stefanski.
But it shouldn't be.
I think he's up to it, but maybe it should go, man. He was a assistant coach and a position coach for a long time. Now he was an offensive coordinator for 2 years, and in one of those years he ran Gary Kubiak's offense, and they brought Gary Kubiak in to help him out. So how good was Kevin Stefanski? How experienced is Kevin Stefanski? So we're talking about a guy who does not have a wealth of experience at high-level positions coaching in this league. So I think it absolutely probably should be a growth, a learning curve for Kevin Stefanski. And I'm less concerned with Kevin Stefanski than I was with Baker Mayfield. But it remains to be seen if he's willing to have an honest self-evaluation.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that, fellas. I think I look at it like this: the best coach in the NFL don't call plays. To be honest, the best 3 coaches in the NFL don't call their own plays. I think sometimes these coaches get a little arrogant, and they feel themselves so much that they think that they can do it, and some of them just can't do it. I think coming with an NFL head coach, you got too much to worry about. I think Stefanski should have his own a really good play caller. I'm not a fan of the 3 tight end set. We need to ditch that immediately.
I don't think you'll see that no more like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
I hope not. I'm praying we don't see it anymore like that. I mean, but we got too many weapons for it. I mean, it's great when you got running backs like we have, but with the running backs that we have, we could open up the playbook so much. But I kind of understand it too, because we had Baker, and Baker with he's short, unathletic. On top of that, he has horrible footwork as far as throwing the ball. His mechanics was horrible. So he probably couldn't open a playbook up as much as he would like. So we'll see this year.
Let me play devil's advocate, though. In some of those sets, I'm not sure that Johnny Manafarve was going to be able to complete passes, okay? You were running 3 tight end sets with David Njoku out wide, Hooper and Harrison Bryant, Jarvis Landry and Rashad Higgins, or Donovan Peoples-Jones. There is no defensive back in the league that goes, oh, shit, I've got Jarvis Landry on the other side of me. I'm in trouble here. Same with Peoples-Jones. And most safeties in the league are pretty happy lining up against our 3 Toyota Prius tight ends.
Well, here's the difference.
You know what?
When you're not open, I don't know what you're going to do.
But
you know what?
A lot of times they were open. And even Odell, who had speed, was open, and he couldn't hit him. So I think his height had a lot to do with it.
I agree with you on that.
The height, the footwork, but here's the thing. Yes. And just to piggyback off the playing devil's advocate with Stefanski, not one time in the last 2 seasons have you seen Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the backfield at the same time. Not once.
Nope.
Every other team can use both of their backs in this. You know what I'm saying? We already didn't have those weapons, to piggyback off what you're saying. Ain't nobody going to be scared of Jarvis, this, that, and the third. So if you got
Absolutely
Jarvis
correct.
out there, you know what I'm saying? If you got Jarvis out there, all right, we got Baker. We know we're going to dink and dunk anyway. First of all, don't take Nick Chubb, who's arguably the only person on the offense that scares any defense going into game week. You take him off the field. All right, they're going to be concerned with Kareem Hunt, but not like they were with Nick Chubb. Every game defense was stop Nick Chubb. So why not keep Nick Chubb on the field? Bring Kareem Hunt. His personnel decisions, let me just say that, his personnel decisions last year to me left me questioning a lot. And I think that's where the OC should come in
Nick
at.
Chubb
And to
should have
piggyback,
had
you
more
talking
touches.
about, well, I don't even care about the touches. Keep him on the field. That's going to take at least one linebacker.
I care about the touches. I care
Here's the
about the
problem.
touches because one thing about the running back is he's your best player on offense. You got to give him more touches.
Yeah, but the problem with that was teams were setting up with 7 and 8 men in the box with a one high safety. They knew that we had no deep threats to beat them. Even when we had Odell,
that is
was
true.
not healthy.
That is true, but there was a couple of times where he ran the ball to the wrong side of the field instead of the weaker side. When Nick Chubb was getting 5+ extra yards to the left side.
Yeah,
of the
we should have
field.
been always running
And
to
he
the
should have.
left. I mean,
And I mean, on certain, and sometimes he would just go the wrong way. And I'm sitting up here like, what are you doing? The stats show you that he's +5 going to the left. All we need is a yard.
yeah, but don't you think the defense knows that too?
Yeah, and that's
I mean, I think.
Yeah, but they
All right,
that,
fellas,
Yeah,
we're
I
having
think-
a lot
I
of
think-
technical difficulties right now with this. You can hear me? So we're going to have to let you guys go for now and have you back on the show another time. When we figure these glitches out because it keeps freezing and shutting everybody down. So D-Mac, appreciate you coming on.
Yo.
Lonnie, I know you're at work right now. Appreciate you coming on also. We're going to figure the bugs out and get you guys back on real soon. Actually, hopefully one day we get you guys in studio in our illustrious.
Oh, they cut me off.
Unfortunately, it seems like he just got booted as well. But thank you guys again on behalf of TJ. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Appreciate it, Scott. And I'll let you go ahead and go into kind of a little bit more of your discussion while we get TJ back in here.
Yep. So in the NFL, you pass the ball to run. And that's the way the game has changed now. You used to run the ball to open up the pass, but now you have to effectively pass the ball to be able to run the ball in this league. And right now, they can't do that. They can't effectively pass. Teams know that, so they're putting 7, 8 men in the box and saying, beat us with the pass. And they're pretty sure that teams can't do that. It doesn't scare anybody. The Browns have been figured out. Kevin Stefanski's offense has been figured out. Did Baker Mayfield have something to do with that? He absolutely did. But does Baker Mayfield have everything to do with that? I don't think so. You've got a head coach who wasn't maximizing his weapons. You've got Odell Beckham Jr. Odell is not a guy to go run a fly. Odell is a guy that you run slants and drags and posts. But Odell Beckham is a guy that you let him win on the first step or two. They didn't do that.
So do you think that Stefani's do you think the offense is going to change now that you got a new quarterback? Does he change the offense to kind of maximize on Sean Watson's skill set?
I'm not sure that he's going to actually change the offense. He runs his offense. But I think what you're going to see is them take more shots downfield because Deshaun Watson's going to pull the trigger on the route that's in there. Kevin Stefanski drew up some really good route combos at times, but Baker often couldn't see them. I think the key with Baker was you had to get him into 7-step drops or you had to get him moving. As the offensive line got hurt last year, they wanted to do more quick 3- and 5-step drops, and I think it was hard for Baker to see and read the field out of those formations. I think that Stefanski's going to run most of his playbook And Deshaun Watson will just see those routes open and make better decisions on those combos and throw the ball more downfield. Baker
Everybody got me up?
Mayfield wasn't doing that.
Yeah, we got you.
So will Kevin Stefanski adjust his offense? He should. Do I think he will? No, because he
got
ran
me?
the same offense here that he did in Minnesota.
Yeah, go ahead, TJ. I don't know if TJ's on a delay or does if he hears us or not. But
Now I hear you.
okay, go ahead.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. Only 26 minutes later. Hey, good to see you guys. That was nuts.
This is a
That was
rough one
nuts.
for people sticking it out with us.
But actually, I'm looking at it on the other computer, Facebook Live, and it's flowing. The whole thing was flowing the whole time. I couldn't hear anything, but it was actually it was moving. So hopefully it turns out okay. But if it didn't, then we'll do it again this week. But where are you guys at? You guys talking about Stefanski still?
We were talking about Stefanski. Will he change his offense?
He has no choice. You're paying this guy $230 million. He's not going to run the same offense that Baker ran. You got to tweak that offense. You have to. You have no
I
choice.
think he is.
But did he change the offense for Baker, really?
He didn't want Baker.
He ran the same offense he did in Minnesota. Whether he's got Kirk
if I'm
Cousins or
Haslam
whether
or
he's got Baker Mayfield.
Barry, I'm telling him, you got to switch it up.
I was just telling Lou, I think that he's going to
Seriously?
run the same offense, but you're going to see Deshaun Watson take shots for the route that's downfield. A lot of these underneath routes, Baker would hit the short route, and the mid or the deep route was open.
I think we found. I think maybe TJ's internet is probably going bad today. I'm not
telling
quite
you,
sure.
it's
I'm gonna.
acting
Oh, there you
weird,
go.
dude.
Go ahead, TJ.
It's acting so weird today. Like, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, maybe
We'll
it's
blame
my
the
internet.
Russians. How about that?
You know, they hacking the
All
Ill
Vlad
Talk
Putin's
Sports now.
fault.
Putin, I ain't got no problem with you, bro. Why you hacking my stuff, man? Let me flow, bro. Let me flow. I ain't got to do with that. That's on over there. I'm over here. Leave me alone. But no, man. I really do believe Stefanski has to change the offense somewhat. I mean, you did re-sign Njoku. You got rid of Hooper, who blasted Cleveland today, kind of threw shade on Cleveland a little bit. I think you're gonna see a lot of people that leave Cleveland talking mad stuff. The only one that didn't talk nothing so far was Treader and Mack. But Hooper said something a little bit today, and I'm sure Baker gonna unload as soon as he gets on the team if somebody takes him because nobody wants his ass. Let's talk about that for a minute. What is it? No one wants to trade for Baker Mayfield. But this guy, people in Cleveland swear they want to get in physical fistfights with you about Baker's not average. He's elite. No, Baker is average to slightly above average on a good day. So what is it about him nobody wants him?
Browns have no leverage.
None.
They have no leverage. So why
you
would
go-
anybody
you go
give
eat
an
18
asset
million.
for him?
You go eat 18 million. You have to cut him and eat that 18 million.
Right. That's nothing to do.
Nobody
This
wants
has
him.
nothing to do with Baker Mayfield's talent
You keep him on
evaluation.
the roster?
Well, let's talk about. There's what, 2 teams that may be interested in him. Well, he wants to go to the Colts, right?
That's done already. That's dead already.
And then what was the other
That-
team that was interested?
Seattle. It's the only leverage you got right
Seattle.
now in Seattle.
Seattle. And
That's
I
the
think the
only
only
leverage you got in
way that
Seattle.
they were going to get what they wanted is if they got them in a battle between 2 teams trying to fight to get them.
They might not get anything.
Telling you, pack up Hunt, pack up Baker, and get DK Metcalf.
Why? Why would they do that?
I'm just wishful thinking, dude.
Yeah.
Why did
while you're at
Watson
it,
come here? But who they got at their quarterback right now?
it doesn't matter. No one's gonna give. They're not giving up DK Metcalf for Kareem Hunt and Baker Mayfield.
That's some picks.
It's not happening.
Here's the thing that gets me is a team actually sat there and said, "Hey, we want you to give us some picks of yours and Baker Mayfield, and we'll take them off your hands." Like, what?
It's
say he's
teams
that
know
much
that the Browns
garbage.
have an $18 million price tag on him. They don't have to. The Browns have to unload him. That's it. The other teams have every bit of leverage.
Yeah, that's sad. So we stuck with Baker. So Scott, how do you see this ending with Baker Mayfield? They going to release him? Nobody picking him up.
You can't keep him. They could deactivate him, as Daryl said here. I mean, you could deactivate him for the year. I think they're going to trade him for next to nothing. Just not have to take that hit.
A 7th round
You might
pick, maybe?
see something silly like a 6th or 7th round pick. What happened with Brock Osweiler a few years ago?
That'll be a shot to his ego, won't it?
Yeah, maybe.
That'll be a real shot.
But honestly, I think he knows
Scott,
too that
I know you want to vent, man. I know. So why am I stuck like that? That's horrible. Oh my God, that was horrible. So let's get to the other side of the coin here with Watson. Now, we talked about this off the air before about how you feel about this, and you shared that with many, many people in the world and in Cleveland, Ohio, about the morals or lack of morals in the NFL and in sports. You have guys that do crazy things off the field, things that are unspeakable, and it's looked at as nothing to most people because it's about business, about money. You also have 2 more Browns players that are in trouble for sexual misconduct, Delpit and Phillips, I think it is. Supposedly, there's something happened at LSU where Delpit had sex with a young lady, recorded it, and showed it to people. And then I guess Phillips was accused of rape. So you got 3 Browns players on the team currently who have some sexual misconduct issues going on. And this happened in 2019, I believe, at LSU, and nothing has come of that legally at all. So here you have a precedence where athletes are allegedly, I'm going to use that word to cover our ass, taking advantage of ladies, and nothing has happened to them as far as punishment. So again, turn over to you, Scott. How does it affect you as a Browns fan, knowing the Browns have no morals about who they sign?
I'm conflicted. And it's not just recently. You can go back. Peyton Manning has allegations at him. Brett Favre's got his Jen Sturger stuff that went on. And I heard him talking about the president at the beginning of this. I mean, I'm torn though, because there are 22 allegations of misconduct here. Ray, he was basically trying to get happy ending massages every time he was there in one way or another. And he was trying to either manipulate or verbally bully. That's the allegations made by the massage therapists. And if you read these stories, if you read these allegations, it's horrifying. And I'm trying to compartmentalize. A couple days ago, I had said, I'm done with the Browns. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to support this. I don't want to be out there cheering for a team that is led by someone with 22 allegations of sexual misconduct. That said, I'm a big proponent of innocent until proven guilty in this country. And they decided to bring no charges against him. There are 22 civil cases pending. The NFL probably cannot tell him that he cannot work because he's been accused of 22 instances of sexual misconduct. The NFL can tell Colin Kaepernick that he can't work because he took a knee for something that he believed in. But apparently the NFL can't tell Deshaun Watson that you can't work and we don't want you over these allegations. That said, where I get conflicted here is you see common arguments like they're lying. They want money. It's one attorney. This one attorney has got them all to go after Deshaun Watson for money. This is a money grab. They're lying. They're retracting their story. That's the main reason why most cases of sexual assault in this country do not get reported. Go back to the Jameis Winston case, where when she reported him, they said, are you sure you wouldn't rather just transfer to another college because this is a big football town and it's not going to go well for you? This is this thing where we say, well, why would the victim walk it back? Why would the victim retract her statement? Why is she not testifying in court? Maybe the hundreds and thousands of threats and harassing messages on their socials. Maybe when they find their cell phone number, they find their email address. I don't know. I'm torn here because you know what? There are 22 allegations. And maybe maybe not all 22 are true. Maybe they are. From what I've read, I'm kind of leaning towards these allegations are probably true. Deshaun might have thought it was consensual. I don't know what warped mind frame he was in when he thought that, but there's 22 allegations here. I don't find it possible that all 22 allegations of the behavior are false. I just don't. And now that brings me to being very conflicted of I don't morally want to support Deshaun Watson, but I want to cheer for the Cleveland Browns. I've followed the Cleveland Browns since I've been 5 years old. So I'm working this one out in my head. I'm working out what if I can compartmentalize this and say I support the team, but I do not support Deshaun Watson. I don't know how you do that. Does it make you part of the problem? If you are sitting here and saying it probably really looks like this guy is a serial assaulter of women, but we can't prove it in a court of law, and we're going to get out here and cheer for him every Sunday because he's going to throw touchdown passes for our football team? On the other hand, do we want to get into a state in America where someone can make an allegation against you, and if you get enough allegations against you, even though it wasn't proven legal, you can't work, and you're a pariah? That the allegation, while you won't spend your time in jail, is just as damning to everything else as if you did it. There's 22 allegations here, though. And here's the thing. I have the luxury of not having to decide this from a legal perspective. And this is what I'm struggling with. I have to decide if I feel okay continuing part of this treatment that happens to you. I think this is why a lot of sexual assaults don't get reported. Because ultimately, you get the backlash that has come against these 22 massage therapists.
All right. So look.
For this.
I'm going to look at it this way. And I'm not saying everything you said, I feel it 100%. Did you cheer for the Browns when Baker Mayfield was their quarterback?
I did.
So Baker's okay getting head at Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
I understand.
All the cheesecake waitresses were voluntarily doing it.
I understand that, but he cheated on his wife. No, you have a wife.
No, there's a difference between cheating on your wife and forcing a massage therapist to sexually gratify you.
What I'm saying is, morally, was Baker right or wrong?
Oh, morally, Baker's not right. He's a bad husband, but that's between him and Emily.
Did you cheer for him, though?
Sure.
I understand what you're saying about there's a difference, but he's still an asshole.
Yeah, but there's a difference between cheering. Look, how many of these guys aren't womanizers? How many of these guys aren't stepping out on their wives?
There are more and more stories come out every day, and we still cheer for these people.
But there is an order of magnitude difference between hitting on the Cheesecake Factory waitresses and intimidating massage therapists into giving you a happy ending, or worse.
Daryl, you are 100% right. That's more towards Baker's character, though, when he ran from the police and left his girlfriend there. Like, you just left your girl there and ran from the cops. Where were you going? Where were you going, Baker?
Between bad character and people who probably committed a crime. And a crime that the victim never recovers from. They just don't. They will never be the same.
So my question is ultimately, I know you're conflicted with this, Scott, but ultimately, are you going to not watch the Browns this fall because of Deshaun Watson's allegations?
I haven't made up my mind yet. I really haven't.
Also this. What if they go all the civil trials and he doesn't pay anything? Like, say they do recant. Say all 22 recant. Now, the first one that accused him, if I'm reading this right, she said we had consensual sex, and then he came back a week later, and I told him no, and he stopped immediately. So she pretty much messed her own case up with that one.
A lot of this stuff is common in a sexual assault case. The pressure builds on the women. They're harassed. They can't escape it. In the age of social media, they're and they just say, I just want this to go away. I don't want to be the face of the nation. That said, no, I'm not going to say that if there's no criminal charges means something. because I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson's guilty of what he did. I'm pretty sure O.J. Simpson did what he did. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump is guilty of all the things they said he did.
Why are you
And
sure about OJ?
I'm pretty sure Kobe
Here's the bad part.
is guilty of what he did. So, yeah, them getting tossed out doesn't necessarily make me think it didn't happen.
Here's the problem. Here's the biggest problem of all this. And Scott, I don't disagree with you. Proof.
Yeah, I don't want to do mental gymnastics.
4 daughters, my dude. So here's the thing with me, though. You do this with one of my kids, you're not going to court. You're not playing football ever again. They're not going to. All my heart. So, that being said, these are allegations against this guy right here. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do it. I wasn't there. He did.
Uh-oh, I think he's having problems again. Here he comes.
I'm still there.
Yeah,
This is a
there.
weird
Go
show,
ahead.
man. I said it's gonna be fire. Ain't no gonna be fire like this. We're cutting in and out all goddamn night. Jesus Christ. What I was saying was, I'm rooting for the Browns because it's not about the individual player for me. It's about the team. We have a bunch of a-holes on the team. Basketball, baseball, football, whatever. Look at the other guys that did stuff. Manny Ramirez did all kind of crazy stuff. Carlos Berger did crazy stuff.
Albert
Joe
Bell.
Mesa was banging one of the other team's wife and stuff.
Omar
Albert Bell.
Vizquel might have been the
Shit.
worst of them all.
Exactly. I mean, he's Mr. Build a Statue for me. You know.
But you didn't know it at the time. No, that was Tomei.
Here's the thing, though. You're always going to have allegations when money's involved. And that's one of the biggest issues. You don't hear about players that don't have multi-million-dollar contracts getting in trouble. Big guys get in trouble. Brett Favre's or Peyton Manning's or Baker Mayfield. Even though Baker supposedly was allowed to do what he did, doesn't matter. If you got money, they're coming after you in one way or another. Best thing to do is stay your ass in the house. Just go to work. Pull a Marshawn Lynch, smoke some weed, go home, and show up for the commercials. That's it. So I don't know, Scott, man. We gotta see how this moves forward. I understand it's messing with you, dude, because you wear your heart in your sleeve.
I
I
may
know
be
you're a
in a
Browns
different
fan.
spot
I know this
right now,
messes with your
T.
whole aura right now.
I may be in a different mental spot right
What's that?
now because I'm about to be a first-time father to a daughter in a month. So maybe I'm thinking about things in a very different
It's gonna mess with you, yeah.
these days. But
It's gonna take time for you to watch if you watch.
I'm
It's gonna take
working
time.
on compartmentalizing. I really
It's gonna
am.
be hard for you. It's gonna be
And
really hard for you, especially when Scarlett get here. She ain't even
Exactly.
here yet, and you're already feeling that way. Imagine when you hold her the first time. It's gonna
Exactly.
change dude. You ain't gonna drive the same. Trust me. You're gonna drive differently. Seatbelts on, stopping. The yellow light gonna change. I can make it. No, I'm gonna stop. It's all different, dude. When you have kids, especially daughters, it changes
I
everything
just
you do.
don't. You know what bothers me the most about this is that these women who made the allegation, if you're a woman and you make an allegation of sexual assault, you're going to get accused of going after the money or changing your mind if you wanted it a week later or feeling wrong about what you did. This is the world we still live in. And the fact of the matter is that it's not as much that the NFL is going to let the guy play because he wasn't proven guilty. It's how many people are going out of their way to say, he probably didn't do it. It's probably all these women just lying or trying to really work out this cognitive dissonance where they are trying to find a way to say Deshaun Watson is a good guy who didn't do anything wrong and the women are wrong here.
And I get what you're saying, but here's the bad part about that. You have had women actually do that and lie, and that kind of like sets it up for like you have people that scream racism when it's not really happening, and then when it really happens, you crying wolf. So that's kind of the same situation where you have some women that have done this in the past, and it catches up with them, and now it's like, well, do we really believe you? Monica Lewinsky had proof. The only thing that's really making Deshaun seem like he might not have done it is there's not one shred of evidence that he did any of this.
How would
It's
you
just
prove it? How would you prove
in
that
this day
he
and age,
wasn't
it should be a
consensual?
text message somewhere or something, an email saying you shouldn't
They've
have done
got
this.
these
There's none
messages.
of
They've
that.
got the one massage therapist that said he came in and said, "I don't want sheets. I want a towel."
Yeah. Is a text from him?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't enough for the grand jury, obviously.
No, it's not going to be.
And you
This
wear
is the
towels when
problem with this
you do
type
wear
of crime.
towels when you get massages.
Proof is tough. It comes down to he said, she said.
And that's what it's going to be. And he got the money to back it up now.
Yeah, and I guess where I'm saying my bigger problem with this is I understand it's tricky to you have to evaluate and try to make a decision of who you believe and who you don't believe. But there is such a rush to say these women are lying, they're only looking for money, etc., etc., etc.
Like Daryl just said, the timing bothers me. This happened a couple of years ago. Then why not come out and say it then? Why wait till he wants a trade? Then your lawyer comes out and says, if anybody has had a massage from Watson, contact me. Not if anybody has been assaulted by him. If anybody's given him a massage, contact me.
It wouldn't surprise me
It's fishy.
if the lawyer caught rumors
I'm not saying he
from
didn't do
someone.
it. It's fishy.
It wouldn't surprise me if the lawyer caught rumors from someone of inappropriate activity from Deshaun Watson at a massage parlor, and that these women didn't want to come forward because they didn't think it would go well accusing a famous football player. The lawyer eventually convinced them to do it, and then he said, if it's happened to one of you, it's probably happened to a lot of you, and went looking for more people to help bolster this case about him. Yeah, the lawyer's probably chasing a payday, but it's a tricky situation, because if it is a lie, Deshaun Watson's reputation has been ruined, and there will be people who will never, ever, ever believe that he's innocent, even if all 22 of them come walk it back.
He's not going to pay him anything.
My initial reaction, as you said, T, wear my heart on my sleeve, and I know which way I went with it. I'm working on compartmentalizing it and trying to separate my feelings on this individual from my feelings on the team. I don't know if I'm going to get there or not.
The very second he pays the first one, he's admitting guilt. As long as he don't pay, it's going to be he said, she said. If he pays one of the women any kind of money, just to make it go away, as they say, he's admitting he did it. If he doesn't pay him, it says, I didn't do nothing, I ain't paying you nothing. They're going to drag on and drag on and drag on and drag on. He's not going to ever get that tarnish on his resume because he's going to admit guilt. He ain't going to admit guilt. He's never going to do it.
If you're going to make it go away, you got to try to do it like someone did with Stormy Daniels before it hits the media.
And super $230 million means he got plenty of money to fight the lawyers.
I think he's going to lose.
This is drag on. This is a drag on for his whole career, huh?
I think he's going to lose the civil case in the end. It's a lot easier to win a civil case than it is a criminal case. The burden of proof is far less.
Time will tell.
I think he's going to lose the civil cases.
Let's check out real quick. We got about 5-10 minutes left on the show here. Let's talk about the Cavaliers and how they are now trying to hold on to the 6th spot, maybe climb to the 5th spot. They play the Lakers tonight, don't they? Actually playing Lakers right now. So I think they won the last 2 games. They're trying to climb back in there. They still got a couple of injuries out there right now. So we're trying to see if they can get that situated. Our center's still out. Where is the score for the Cavaliers? I do not see it anywhere on here. Ooh, that's not good.
Lost.
Cavaliers took an L tonight, 131-120. LeBron James, why you do that to us, man?
Man, he
38 points,
off.
11 rebounds, 12 assists. Yeah, he went off on us. Garland had 29 points, 2 rebounds, 16 assists. All right, that doesn't help us at all. That doesn't help us at all. And the Cavs outscored them in the first quarter. Second quarter, third quarter. Yep, they switched quarters. All right, so that's where we're at right now with the Cavaliers. Cavaliers still sitting in the 6th spot. They are 41-31. I believe they have about 15 games to go. Toronto, who's right on our heels, they won one.
11.
They are 40-31. 11 games ago.
11 games left.
So that 50 win mark ain't happening. 46
No.
maybe 45, 46, 45, 46. I'll give
Yeah,
them that.
somewhere around
Not
there.
50.
Unless
Not 50.
I don't think they're going 9-2 down the stretch. But what's their schedule? Let me take a look here.
Okay, let's with 11 games to go. Let's feel confident the Cavs are in the playoffs. Well, at least in the play-in part. So right now they're in the playoffs with a 6th seed. They are a game behind Chicago for the 5th seed and 3 behind Boston for the 4th seed. They ain't getting no higher than that, I don't think. That was their schedule coming up.
The next couple games are going to, you got the Raptors who are dead even with you at 40-31. You got the Bulls at 41-29 your next 2 games. Probably got to go. You want to go win those.
You've
Then
been
you get a gimme
Raptors all
against
year,
the Magic at home. Then you got the Mavericks coming into town. That's a tough one. You get the Hawks. You should be able. You feel like you should be able to get that game.
76ers
Then you got the
ain't
Knicks. Play the 76ers. You get the Magic again, and then you wrap it up with the Nets and the Bucks. So they can go if they can go 6-5 or 5-6 down the stretch. That would be. With that schedule, that's probably realistic.
5 and 6 is I'm looking at 5 and 6.
Probably enough.
I got them losing to Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, Philly, and Brooklyn. Milwaukee, maybe. But we'll see. So we're missing Allen. That's it, right? Rondo still out? Not sure if Rondo's still out or not.
Let me check here real quick.
They might be okay. They might surprise you. 6-5 be better than 5 and 6 to me.
Rondo's still out.
Jesus Christ.
They've been hit by the injury bug. They're a young team. When they were looking at being a 3 seed, we were probably all getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. They could still get that, but things got to break their way. Realistically, the 5 seed's probably what you can hope for.
5 seed. I feel comfortable with the 5 seed. That's where I'm comfortable at, the 5 seed. 6 is, 6 we're in, but a 5 seed sounds a lot better than that 6 seed right now. I'm sorry. 3rd in the Central. Technically, you're only 3 games out of taking the whole Central, which is crazy. Rondo is back. Okay, good.
He didn't play tonight from what I saw.
I don't know, man. It seems like the Cavaliers, that All-Star break messed them up, man. I'm telling you. After the All-Star break, it just wasn't the same. They're starting to find their groove back right now. But like I said, LeBron came in tonight and just wrecked shop for no reason.
Yeah, he'll be in a Cavs uniform next year.
Like LeBron really dogged us tonight.
He's averaging 29.8 a game this year. He's almost going to average the most points he's ever had, the most he ever has in his career this year. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And people say, I don't want this guy back. He's washed. The most he's ever averaged was in 07-08 at 30 points. Well, no, 05-06, 31.4. He's averaging 29.8. He hasn't averaged that since 2007, 2008. It's idiotic. He's averaging almost.
Yeah, his team is just getting better.
Dude, the dude is 36 years old. What is he? 38? And he's
38.
Not slowing down.
38.
37 years old.
36, sorry.
37 years old.
He's getting ready to play with his son.
Next year.
Really?
Yeah, it won't happen, but I hope they figure out a way to get him here.
Well, it's 2 years away because Bronny be in the league in 2 years.
Yeah, unless they can trade him for something to the Cavs to get him back now.
No, what's his contract up? What year with the
Contract
Lakers?
is up the year after. It's not next year, it's the year after.
24, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what Bronny be in the league. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. I'd just rather get him back next year. Get that championship next year.
Now, without Bronny, want Bronny in the squad.
It'll be a
All right,
wink.
man.
Him and Gilbert will spend whatever draft pick it is to get him.
Has Gilbert even been around since his stroke? Has Gilbert been to Cleveland? I ain't seen him nowhere. I think he's still in Detroit.
You make a wink by phone.
You stupid. All right. So, hey, for our guest came on tonight, even though it was real iffy, I'm going to play this back tomorrow and see how it looks. I'm scared to watch it. For all our listeners that stick with us, I appreciate you guys. For Daryl, D-Mac, and for Lonnie coming in, our producer, Lewis, Scott, appreciate you, man. Good to have you back. Next week, we'll talk about Deshaun some more possibly, or if Baker's going to be gone or not. Hey, what do you think odds of Baker being on the roster next week this time?
He'll be on the roster next week.
Oh, that's harsh. What are the odds that Baker will be on the roster next week and Seattle will have another quarterback?
No, Seattle's going to wait it out.
Oh, to see how far the Browns will go? How long they're going to wait to suffer?
Seattle wants to see if the Browns will just give up and release him, and then they don't have to trade an asset for him at all.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I'd do.
I mean, they got the leverage. Browns have no leverage in this right now at all. So, all right, Scott, I appreciate you being here, man. For our guest, for producer Lewis, we will see you guys next week on Hill Talk Sports.